We'll take a look at Ball State Black first. Cashless, Sigmire, Jabobbers, Cole Richkey, and Bear Zombie. And, you were talking to them, talking about how they like to play around Jabobbers in the tank role. So we want to see how good this Jabobbers tank is, Jeff.
Well, and coming into Season 9, of course, tanks have had to make some pretty significant adjustments into the pacing of their play, how you engage, and where you position on the map. So, in talking with this squad, yeah, they love to play around Jabobbers, and Jabobbers is the only returning member here. If memory, oh no, excuse me, it was Cash who is the only returning member. Everybody else is brand new on this squad, so they're still kind of figuring out exactly how each other likes to work, how each other likes to play, and especially with the big changes of Season 9. It sounds like it's been a little rough here for the Ball State squad. But let's take a look at Waterloo on the other side, the opposition. Held in by Tomathan, 5 years here with this Waterloo squad. Has been playing with the school since 2019, Billy.
I mean, that is insane for longevity for somebody playing in the scene. Ineffabilis and Tomathan, as you mentioned before. Akiba, they say, is mechanically studded. Yes. So we want to see what they are talking about here. I mean, it leads me to like a Winston, it leads me to a Roadhog, it leads me to like a Mauga or a Junker Queen. If you're thinking mechanics from a tank, maybe just insane on the placement and the positioning, we're not sure. But the rest of the squad, SSM, new player there, and Meester rounding out the support line.
Yeah, Akiba versus Jabobbers today is certainly going to be where our focus is starting out at. I mean, that's obviously, your tanks dictate so much, but from talking with both of these squads, the tank players really are a cornerstone of these programs. And then, as you were kind of mentioning before, with Waterloo being on a little bit on their last leg, let's dive into that a little bit. Let's crack that open for a moment, because it's not so much in their performance. Performance, astonishing. This is a really top-notch squad, and really has been led by Tomathan, that captain's been around for 5 years from the get-go. And
okay. They have finally made their selection, and we are going to Antarctic Peninsula. Interesting choice here.
This would be a favorite amongst at least the newer maps. I've been seeing a lot of Antarctic Peninsula in recent memory. Interesting map. I mean, it feels good for tanks. I can understand why this one was chosen. A lot of close quarters objectives. Not a lot of high ground to worry about. The high ground is, it's just like a small little ramp like we saw there in sub-level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm anticipating something pretty brawly here. I mean, we did hear from Ball State they like to be scrappy and they like to be persistent. I'm expecting that right out of the gate.
I mean, that screams to me either they're going to run a ball just to be, the ultimate of. I always equate in my brain to Scrappy Doo as Wrecking Ball. Just put your dukes up, and getting up in your face and slamming in the background.
That's a collab. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that collab. I think I would like it, but I'm unsure.
You should be excited about it. Yes. But I mean, the other thing is that it also screams. The other part of me says, what, this is absolutely Ramatra. You want to get up in their face, want to punch, want to use the Nemesis form to get on top of it. I want to see if they're going to run with a Moira Lucio. Has become so in favor right now, Jeff, that, I mean, it is all prevalent across all the OWCS regions. It's really showing its head here in collegiate. The higher you get up in collegiate, we're starting to see a lot of it too.
I will say the massive changes that came through on Tuesday have shooken up the state of the meta quite a bit. And support lines that have been changing up, like we're being shown a little brawl right out of the gate. It's going to be the Baptiste favorite out of our flex supports from both sides. No more just yet.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes down. I mean, speed is still always going to be the name of the game here. It has been since Season 8, but especially now, it is all important. So you're going to have a lot of sustain here running the Baptiste on other side. I like locking the legs here from Siegmeyer. That is going to be some consistent damage, plus a little bit of spot healing with the Biotic Field as well.
That added speed can help get into position, too, as right out of the gate, you see Ball State. We're kind of working around the outside of this high ground, but Jabobbers makes the read and just forces them back, not allowing the Warriors to surround Jabobbers and the rest of the crew. Careful approach. Now Jabobbers has to move in with the Ravenous Vortex, but they got blocked by the shield. Immortality Field used as well. So a couple of resources there for Ball State. They're not able to really get much on the back of it and are forced to back up.
I mean, this is just a poke game right now. You know, we're looking Sigma versus Ramatra. Sigma's actually starting to really kind of hold the line here, and it's because of that experimental shield and the kinetic grasp. And Cashless gets the first pick of the day.
And what an important one at that, onto the Baptiste. Means Akiba just does not have the sustain. Does end up taking Jabobbers down with a little help from Tomathan, but without that Baptiste, eventually the take does fall when Cap is here for the Warriors, but it's quickly flipped right over.
I mean, just the fact that we see Kolrichki get back so quickly, even without the speed boost, was able to get the sustain there. Make sure that Siegmeyer stays up in this fight. Now, look at this. I mean, we've almost got pulse bombs ready to go for both sides. The big kicker, I think, is going to be this upcoming Amp Matrix ready here for Ball State.
He'll use it, take this high ground, being very patient with it. They're going to let Tomathan start the engagement, and, well, start it off right. He does. That pulse finding pay dirt. Warriors now pushing in. They have taken the high ground. Akiba jumps down low with barely any health, has to put up the hands, and eventually dies because of that volley. But the rest of the team has moved on to the point and managed to clean up. Warriors flip it.
Yeah, and FMLS, I mean, finally starting to find a little bit of the range there with the assault rifle. But I think that Tomathan has really been the fly in the ointment here for Ball State. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to see them get a little bit more aggressive here. I want to see them, land these pulses. Just see if you can pull anything out by, targeting somebody down.
Or it looked like Cash is just keeping an eye on Tomathan in the back. Soundbarrier out from the Warriors as they just try to get aggressive. All the defense using a gravitic flux in the thick of all that. Jabobbers will not survive. And it's a scramble here from Ball State. A beautiful aggressive engagement out of Waterloo to confirm this 2-fight win in a row.
And they brought the Moira, by the way, and almost has a coalescence in 1.5 fights, Jeff. That is the power of the Moira. I don't care what they did to her. She is still extremely viable. She's working right now. She's working right now.
Oh, and the coalescence is just going to keep everybody at bay, too, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the good thing is that you've got attack visor, Jeff. So, I mean, you could actually force that fade out and watch everybody else go in. What a shot from Jabobbers. Holy crap.
Warriors find first blood, and here comes that Tag Master on the high ground. Is it behind the M-Matrix? No, the M-Matrix is on the other side. Still Sigma is able to find Tomathan. Now all attention turned to Akiba, who's just trying to hold the court, try to get to at least 90%. Will get there. But eventually Ball State win it out.
I mean, the fact that they only put out the pulse bomb there from Warriors Gold. Swap here coming from Akiba. They're going to throw the hands up into a Junker Queens. I mean, here we go, Tank Roulette once again. Sound Barrier is ready to go. So you've got some staying power going up against this Coalescence. But if an Ephebilis gets on your bad side, you're going to be back in spawn in a hurry.
Bill's heading up to the high ground with the Cole. Leading the charge. Overclock positioned from the powerful spot to fly the Baptiste out of the sky. Everybody converging down. Sound Barrier user trying to keep Jabobbers alive while Cash is able to find the Moira. Ball State aren't done with this fight. Tomathan giving it a slight edge over. Now hunting for the Lucio. Meester is gone. Hands are up, but you can't block the pulse bomb in the back. Ball State are going to take this one to one final fight.
3 health, 7 health. What the heck? I mean, somebody heal him up. They're not going to do it.
Tomathan?
He stayed alive forever.
I mean, Ball State's still managing to get control. You haven't found the kill onto the tank, and reinforcements are showing up. But those 2 kills from Tomathan are going to allow Warriors to re-engage very quickly and have an advantage.
I mean,
they can't lose anybody here.
Sound barrier. Yeah, they can build up the sound barrier. I mean, Meester just has to stay alive here. SMM can knock him down.
Oh my goodness. The fade with 2 health. Cashless finds Tomathan on the inside, though, and Warriors are down to this fight by 2 now. Akiba on the Doom. Desperation time with the hands up, blocking as much damage as possible. Sound Barrier in from Warriors only finds the 3 people here. Tomathan trying to make their way back into the fight as Ineffabilis falls to the melee. Coming out of Cash. Cash turned on to the Doofus. Nice punch. Sigmire falls. Just not enough reinforces. Tomathan gets 2. Now looking for the Baptiste. Jabobber saves the day. Holy cow.
Nobody wanted to lose this level here. What the heck was that? Okay. We definitely gonna go out with a bang here, Jeff, for the end of our regular season. Holy cow. Tomathan and company had every right to not get any kind of an engagement there, and Tomathan stayed alive for so long, allowing people to get back. I mean, you allowed Meester to get this sound barrier up. SSM almost got the coalescence back online. I mean, holy cow. This is what we talk about when we talk about scrappiness. And this is scrappiness from both teams. Ball State Black just that little bit better here on the first map. Now we're going to go to sub-level. And I really want to see how the interaction between Jabobbers and Akiba are going to be here. Does Jabobbers just walk past the experimental barrier and take a face full of rock? We'll see how this goes down.
I really like to keep on the Sigma in the first map. High mechanic Sigma is a scary prospect indeed. Akiba eats a bit of a jagged blade there. Experimental lows. Could be the opportunity for Jabobbers to push in. But Akiba smartly standing on top of the Mega. That's just free 250 health. Makes it difficult for Jabobbers to turn that corner. Still, Jabobbers holds the door, not allowing Warriors to even escape. It's going to be an immortality field that's going to escort Jabobbers in to get aggressive. Finally force Akiba away from that Mega Pack in the small room. Still, no kills have been found, but Ball State are building percentage.
I mean, this is just a war of attrition right now. I mean, Akiba is actually getting a lot done. Jabobbers is going to have the Rampage already after one fight.
Here it is! Oh, that's going to be huge. That's 3. Transcendence isn't even close. Nothing to keep him alive. There's no immortality field here, and Ephibilis will fall just to the tick damage. Drop it down low. Akiba is looking for any sort of reprieve, but there's an Amp Matrix down there. You got to turn tail and run.
I mean, but the good thing is that they're going to have this Gravitic Flux going in there, plus an Amp Matrix of their own. Everything's starting to come up online for the Warriors here. Bear Zombie nowhere near close enough for this sound barrier to fight off the Gravitic Flux. I mean, unless you get pulled out of it, there's really nothing to kind of get you out of this Flux animation. So, GDs better split up.
Got a wild her. Ooh, nice take the armor, kept him alive for a moment. Oh, it's not long. Nope. That was the extra damage coming in from the pulse pistols. The Sin Sigmar back to spawn. Looking for the good position. Needs to use this Flux before that sound barrier's online. And Bear Zombie's inching closer and closer to it. Creation Rock will not land, and our two tanks continue to duel around this corner. You see, Bear Zombie was keeping an Ephibilis out on the outside and out of the fight for the longest, but eventually Ephibilis is able to win that one out, and it starts the snowball.
I mean, everything kind of runs down, but I mean, they held on to that point way too long. I was wondering, if we were going to press Q there from Akiba. Mechanics are good, but good game decision making is better. And that's what I was kind of hoping for, was an aggressive Flux. Now, looking back, they're going to have this as it comes in, but Bear Zombie's going to have something to counteract, and that's really scary.
Oh, not yet. The Flux is just in time. Bear Zombie dies at 99%. Cole Ridge Key is picked off as well. And Warriors Gold, you know what? They waited till the last possible moment, Billy. But Akiba used it perfectly. Used that Flux to perfection.
I love it. I'll eat my words just a little bit. I mean, you kind of
just by 1%.
Yeah, 1%. I mean, there's no way you knew that they were at 1% to the sound rate. There's no way. Either that or you are Nostradamus in Sigma form.
Yeah, I mean, the second coming of Landon in ult tracking. Sigmire, that Torbjorn pick finally showing up as Tomathan was wreaking havoc there in our first sub-map, and Sigmire's counter dive working out. Just a lone pusher from Jabobbers on the high ground. I'm not quite sure where the rest of the squad is. Korski is up here, able to keep Jabobbers topped off as they're just dueling back and forth with Akiba. Both are building ults at wicked speed. Oh, no. Ooh, nice move. Sigmire finds the Zenyatta, getting the Discord orb out of there. And here comes Jabobbers. Just going way deep into the backline, runs right past the Sigma, looks for the overclocking in Ephibilis, and will find it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a really poor fight planning. I don't even know how they flipped the point back at 70%, but I mean, that's going to do it here for this first map of and Arctic Peninsula and Ball State, scrappy indeed. They took the fight out of Waterloo's hands, Jeff. If I'm being completely honest, they really dictated the terms of most of the engagements here on sub level, and I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked here, my friend, because that was, it was dirty. I mean, they just owned the tide, they owned the space, they owned the engagements, and they owned the first map of the day.
A really interesting combination of good fundamentals and team play, but then mixed with that persistentness that they were bragging about. Just this tenacity and not giving up on the fight and staying in it. And that kind of, those two traits will sometimes contradict each other. You know, the smart move isn't always the right play in the heat of the moment, especially when you're down in these 2v3 scenarios. And Ball State stick around in that fight, and they're willing to commit ults in those risky, scrappy scenarios, and they win out those engagements more time than not. At least they did here in Antarctic Peninsula.
It was Waterloo. And guess where we're going? We're going Jimmy, baby. It sounds like Dive might be on the menu.
Oh, this is one of my all-time favorite Overwatch maps. I love Watchpoint Gibraltar. It is one of the most unique game designs I have ever seen in a multiplayer map. As far as the way everything is laid out, the variety of strategies that can be used, and yes, high ground aplenty, which means Winston is king here. D.Va as well, particularly on points A and B, but then you get into point C, and we get into this very narrow, straightforward brawl kind of corner. I love this map.
I like that you could actually run quite a number of compositions here. So obviously high ground is going to be at a premium. It calls to me Tracer, it calls to me Widowmaker, it calls to me Hanzo and Genji. Those are the heroes that I expect to see. But it's the tank that I think can actually be the most dynamic and the most fluid here. You obviously, you think Gibraltar, you think Winston. I think Zarya, just for protection for those flanks, for the advanced guard, trying to claim high ground. I also think of D.Va, being able to use high and low ground, the high mobility, the damage mitigation with the DM, the finishing power with the micro missiles. This is what I think of when I think of Gibraltar. I mean, D.Va's. I love playing D.Va on this map over Winston, just because I'm a better D.Va than I am a Winston. Let's be perfectly honest about why that is my choice. But I also like the fact that I can mitigate a lot of damage. I can take the high ground. I can force, a sniper off of the box up high ground. I can take a Widow out of the game just because Defense Matrix exists. So this, we saw the tank roulette going on, the mind games going on between Jabobbers and Akiba. I want more of that because they are absolutely playing off of each other right now, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, they are. And to a point where even our bans are kind of interesting. We had Waterloo banning out Havana, obviously very long-range, sniper-heavy map, which, I mean, they looked fairly solid in the poke, but maybe they don't feel like they got a top-tier sniper. Then we saw Shambali banned out from Ball State. So that's, where Ramatra is king, and it's almost like a little bit larger King's Row, where it's very straightforward, very narrow, and very brawl-heavy.
Sure. Well, we will see how this goes down. What are the thoughts here? And like I said, these two gamers automatically get massive stars in my book because they are playing one of the best tanks in the game right now. D.Va is in a renaissance right now, having gone in very, very bad disfavor at the beginning of Overwatch 2. As the game has kind of settled and shifted around, D.Va has had a couple of quality life issues addressed, has had a little bit of extra oomph put into the tank. And, here is the result. She is one of the top 3 tanks being played all across the world right now.
We're going to get D.Va out of both sides. D.Va tends to be a little bit more play with your back line and then float to the front. And you let your DPS do a bit more of the engaging and a bit more of the tip of the spear type stuff versus a Winston that is very much 1, 2, 3. Winston leads the charge. Warriors have moved up to the high ground here. It's just going to be a battle here for this top spot. Ball State got to be careful. NFabilis will just fly around and nuke them as the Echo, but decided to just opt to go down low. Both teams are rotating back.
I love the Echo pick, though, because you're going to get a duplicate out of it. And obviously, you need to be going for Diva in that moment. The big problem right now is that Meester needs to be able to keep the Kiba up, and with a Bastion on the field, Sigmeier takes to get first kill.
That's a lot of damage for Warriors to be walking into, especially down at the car wash. It seems like that's where that's happening. I mean, catching a Lucio with one of those grenades, that is not an easy feat. So props to Sigmeier for that one. As such, Ball State have reclaimed this precious high ground.
I like it. I like it. I really want to see what SSM is going to provide support-wise here for the gold. Because, I mean, you're looking at a lot of aerial engagements right now, and that's a big problem for the Warriors.
I mean, at Matrix ground level to counter. You could Kitsune rush out of the Warriors.
Oh my god!
Oh, and SSM just evaporates. Man, that was like an ice cube in the microwave. That was nuts.
It goes hard. Bastion goes burr, even though we did see Cole Richke get the kill on it. That grenade through the window is what did 99% of the damage, and just that little try shot that came from Cole Richke to finish off poor SSM. Swapping over to the Ana now. Interesting coming from the Warriors gold here.
Yeah, Ana's been in a little bit of a tough spot, but did just receive a little bit of a buff. Pulse bomb in the mix. That one is fended off by the Immortality Field, and Tomathan actually gets picked. Both DPS still firmly entrenched on the high ground until the self-destruct comes out. That's going to force a rotation out from Cash. Is this the opportunity? Yes, here's the duplicate. And NFabilis is trying to engage here on this. Two Divas on the battlefield for the Warriors. Immediately taken out of mech by self-destruct from the Jabobbers. Finds that Ana in the back. The duplicate's just not enough. They can't keep their supports alive through this fight.
It's just positioning right now. For me, that's all I'm seeing right now. It's a positioning issue right now. They're getting us a little bit too aggressive. Akiba is starting to light it up.
Yeah, Akiba and Tomathan are still down here side by side. Tomathan pushed around to the back, trying to pincer onto this Lucio. Has to use a recall due to low health. Lucio gets the cell barrier down. Warriors so badly wanted to prevent that. Bear Zombie, the skills are just too good. Has the schmoves to keep it alive. Escapes out. Kitsune rush in for Meister. A dying wish there from the Kiriko. So Warriors are struggling. It seems like Ball State have an answer for every single tool the Warriors pull out. And NFabilis finally finds Cool Rich Key in the back. And with a D-Mech on the Jabobbers, this is just the ticket. But oof, Warriors still are lacking reinforcements, Billy. They don't have enough.
They don't have enough. I mean, they do have the flankers here on the side, looking for that, seeing if they can get the work done. Oh my god, and NFabilis is going so low. What a Suzu coming in from Meester.
I mean, all you had was a Lucio, the two DPS, and a baby Diva. It was all that was here, but the Warriors just couldn't get organized fast enough. They lost too many players amidst all that. It cost them too much to find those picks. NFabilis dies just before the dupe is online. It's a high ground Ant Matrix. Keep him moving up, try to disrupt that. Jabobber's just immovable. An absolute stalwart up top. Sigmeier once again finding value with the nades. In OT at 0.01 meters. This cart has stopped shy. Warriors do find a couple of crucial picks, though, and eventually put that point on the board.
I mean, that was absolutely crazy. Ball State calling for a
1-0 after their win on, what was that, Antarctic Peninsula. Here as they are on the attack, just able to cap point A and get some time on the board in overtime, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some stuff to work with, too, my friend. They're going to have the Kitsune Rush, which I think they should go ahead and lead out with here in their defense. Now, Ball State, I mean, they're going to have a self-destruct of their own. Big anti comes through from SSM. That is actually fantastic work.
Last good chase out of Jobbers. As everybody else is just sitting on the high ground, there's no chance to get healing. The Baptiste, really needs you to be on ground for that healing to have max effect. So hard to hit a Diva mid-air. Self-destruct out of the duplicated NFabilis, and Ball State are kind of stuck in a corner right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to get their heads back on. Obviously, real life takes precedence over some silly game.
Exactly. Yeah, they're running out of, they're scrambling out of the closet to get back into an Overwatch match. Nano boost here used onto Akiba and is going to continue to search for the Baptiste low. Cole Richke is just hiding behind the boxes. Here comes Sigmire, back him up. Actually puts in enough damage to force Akiba out of mech, and the Baptiste lives. Unfortunately, this cart will not be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, this is just unfortunate. We'll see if they can actually get themselves back together now. Jabobber's over to the Orisa now. They've also got both support ultimates coming up into this fight, and they've got Attack Visor to boot as well.
Yeah, I mentioned 10 point C. This gets a lot more brawly. There's not near as much high ground to work with. The D.Va doesn't find near as much value. Jabobber's just like, I'm just going to go to the unkillable cow.
She's my girl. I will not hear any slander against my dear Orisa.
I know better than that.
You know better. Everybody better know better. Look at this, a swap to the Sigma as well from Akiba. I mean, massive swaps coming through. Maester actually has these Yata now. This is a huge confidence booster here for this Warriors Gold team trying to get themselves across the line.
And Droppers has to be particularly aware of that Discord. And with this, Akiba has moved back over to the Sigma, which we saw was their very first pick right out of the gate on Antarctic Peninsula. I feel this could be a strong comfort hero here for Akiba. Attack Visor from the high ground from Sigma, immediately swept by SSM. Unfortunately for Warriors, they do lose Tomathan through this.
You know, we talked about some positioning issues. Well, there was nothing wrong with the positioning there from SSM. That was a fantastic sleep. Completely devalues it. Sleep. I love it. I love it. You love
I don't know exactly where SSM was, but I feel like they were down there somewhere around the Mega. And that went all the way to that top high ground. That was one hell of a sleep dart.
I love it. I love it. Now for Ball State, defensively, I mean, they're going to have this window. If they can get the right setup here and burn down Akiba's shield, it should be a very good space-taking mission there.
Yeah, but as soon as they get Akiba low, SSM is just going to throw the Nano on him. It could just be the Uno reverse card. SSM has to throw the Nano out early. Too much pressure. Worry they might die before they're able to use the valuable ultimate, but it's good enough to get around the corner. Not good enough to find Jabobbers, but they do find a couple of kills along the way.
I mean, they're going to have to really find some space here because this is rapidly approaching the end of the line here. That's a big anti-deflux out!
Oh, wow! What a flux that just completely negated both the Ant Matrix and the Overclock coming out from the defense. Warriors are on track here. All they got to do is, well, survive that. And they shall. Here comes Bear Zombie, immediately taken down. No stall, no chance. It took a long time to cap point A, but once they did, it felt like Mother Nature was kind of playing in Warriors' favor here. Tornado dip in chat.
Tornado dip. I mean, it only took a force of nature.
Yeah, it only took an act of God.
Right. I mean, I'm feeling some Twister references getting ready to come out here. But I mean, I think that when SSM swaps over to the Ana, they didn't have the ability to cleanse that. Yeah, you're right. SSM was inside Mega Room down there.
Yeah.
My word.
That was a hell of a sleep dart, dude.
That's a hell of a sleep dart. Props. I mean, but once they swapped to that Ana, I mean, we didn't see Meester have the ability to cleanse because they weren't on the Kiriko. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Bear Zombie and Cole Richie, neither one of them went over to a Kiriko to deal with the antis. So, I mean, there was no cleanse. And, I mean, that's an opportunity lost there for Ball State. Once you see the Ana, either the D.Va has to get a lot more aggressive, and your flanker needs to get a lot more aggressive in taking Granny down, or you've got to have the Kiriko to deal with those anti-dates coming through because they were just able to build up two very quick nanos, and they went on to Akiba, and Akiba did not waste the opportunities.
SSM, the newest player here on this Warrior squad, by the way. And pulling out a hero that, for Season 9, everybody is just kind of mocked. Felt like didn't really keep up with the changes that came through, but SSM using a great effect. And don't forget that little change to nade. Jabobber's taking, a little extra damage from the impact of that anti-nade. And then that could surprise people. You may not be expecting how quickly you die off of that. Bear Zombie went down pretty quick as well.
I mean, just the fact that it does a little extra splash healing as well. So I mean, it's efficacious on both sides. Now this is going to be a sniper battle, and Jabobbers is having a lot of fun here, chasing people around.
Nephibilis is rolling the high ground, push all the way up to the catwalk to find Sigmire in the back, and gets cash. What a flank coming out from the Ash, and Nephibilis Well, just sealed the deal on this one before the fight even started.
And the fact, well, yeah, I mean, the fact that you're trying to force this this Widowmaker that is just not getting any value into a diva. I mean, once you see the diva out there, you should immediately go to something with a lot more in the kit, because you just don't have enough punching power with that diva. So I mean, they've gone over to an Ashe of their own and a Genji, trying to get up in the face of these longer distance heroes.
Kiba heard the deflect and you saw shoot the micro missiles into the ceiling. They were avoiding having their own micro missiles deflected back into themselves. This is why we saw Kiba just shoot the wall. Sigmire with no cooldowns gets caught out. One in the corner. Doomfist here from Jabobbers up on the high ground. Immediately is out of there.
I mean, look at the support coming from the Warriors right now. I mean, they have blue box controlled. They have a self-destruct on the line. They're going to have a pulse as well. But we're going to see SSM, the newest member, put out another damn good nano. I cannot wait to see if they can go on to Akiba again. See if they can get a lot of work done here. But I mean, Cole Ritchie is going to have something to say about that. Man, Meester is absolutely hunting heads right now, Jeff.
Yep. Meester's trying to get the Bryn call out of me. You won't get it. You won't get it. Akiba, I mean, really towing a line, doing a really good job of limit testing here on the diva. There's a few times where I was worried they're engaging on the back of those 2 kills. Akiba goes in with like 250 health just to clean up on the back of it, and it works. Such great trust, and now a full war chest here from almost both teams, Billy. This next fight is going to get nasty.
Oh, and there's no immortality barrier to save you now. So there's a massive problem here on aisle 8, and I mean, we're less than 90 seconds here before it's going to be an even series.
Oh, Sigmire dies from a coach gun. Not what you wanted to see if you're a Genji player. That's going to be a bop thrown in, and the odds continue to stack against Ball State.
50 health in a dream. Where's your support? I don't know. The defense matrix out. Oh my god, he lives anyways!
Oh my. I mean, to be fair, this is very similar to how Ball State's defense started. But they were able to push through in overtime. Let's see if they can repeat it here. So far, it's only been investments from Warriors. Still 5 on the table from Ball State. High ground control at a premium. Jabobbers doesn't have to do much. Oh, there's a Kitsune rush up there. Invested. Meester, knowing how precious that could be, and finds yet another kill. The accuracy, ridiculous out of Meester from the Kiriko. And it's put Warriors up by 2. A DMAC on to Kiba is not ideal. Jabobbers is taking advantage of that extra healing. Top off from the Meteor Strike. Lands up on Blue Box and trying to hunt down an Ineffabilis, but just has to get out of there. There's too many red jerseys.
Red team. It's the red shirts. Putting it all up on the line here. Warriors absolutely not willing to go quietly into the night. And the blade comes out.
Last second attempt. The final chance. Ant Matrix and a blade. And Sigmire gets absolutely not shut down by the X Factor that is the Captain Tomathan. And Ineffabilis finds 2. Continuing to wreak havoc with the Ashe. Oh my goodness, the 1-2 punch out of this DPS duo is dynamic enough to tie up this series.
And Akiba never used the self-destruct, held it for like 2.5 fights, if not 3, and just trusted in the support line so much. We got a series on our hands here, Jeff. Warriors gold from Waterloo. Will not go quietly into that night.
No, sir.
Ineffabilis absolutely had a match here. Holy crap. Sleep!
Oh, poor Tracer. The poor Tracer. Oh,
somebody clip it.
That hurts. That hurts. Incredible performance. And Ineffabilis, it was the first flank, very first fight. While the rest of the engagement's taking place in the traditional high ground, Ineffabilis walks out on the catwalk, way away from everybody, to pick off both DPS. That is I mean, just the brass to make a play like that, and then the mechanics to execute and make it work. That's what I'm talking about. This DPS duo is nasty and something to be feared. The Warriors have brought it back here. They've tied up the series. We're going to take a quick intermission. When we come back, we're headed to Flashpoint. We'll see you there for map 3.
Ball State has chosen to take us to beautiful Sorevas, where you're currently at. Hopefully you won't catch any strays there while you're casting from Sorevas, my friend.
Yeah, it's, good thing I have quick reflexes. I may have to duck.
But are you pulse bomb avoiding fast?
Am I pulse bomb resistant? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I need to get my break shield. I've never been very good at that.
Of course you would go brag.
I've never been very good at, like, the drop the shield and then put the shield back up so you can, like, lose the stick. Like, I'm so terrible. I get blown up every time, Billy.
I mean, that's why I don't play support.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we got a little distracted there. But I tell you what, Tomathan has been exceptional on the Tracer all day long. And, well, man, and then Ineffabilis is popping off on the Ashe. And it's looking scary here as we head into map 3. I mean, those two names are just living in my head right now.
I mean, I'm feeling the Akiba buff right now, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, the mechanics, the trust. I mean, that's another thing that tanks have had to learn a lot more of, is that they can't depend on their tank buddy, their tank duo. I know you and I used to play tank back in the day, back in Overwatch 1. We used to be tank buddies. But, I mean, now, you're out there on a lone island, and you have to trust in your supports so much more than you did. Even now, with the all the stuff that hit with Season 9, even more support has to be, or trust in the supports has to be out there. So, for me...
Don't mention 6v6 really around Tomathan, all right? Tomathan will go on a tangent. Don't mention 6v6 around Tomathan. The Warriors want their off-tank back, I promise.
So do I. I miss 6v6. I'm not going to lie. I'm a proponent of going back to 6v6. If
I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm your 5v5 advocate here, so we make a good deal. We represent the entirety of the boomer community here.
It's so true. Oh, getting ready to see how these two teams are going to stack up and speed once again. Not only is required from the teams, but the tick goes up faster here in Flashpoint, much faster. Ineffabilis showing us the cowboy here. I do not hate this. I think that Cassidy is in a really good spot. Yeah. I mean, looking at what Ball State's bringing out here, you can actually get a lot of work done against a Junker Queen, against a Lucio. Takes that speed element away. He's just going to show us the Moira here. So there's a lot of sustain on the field here for Warriors Gold. Ball State Black looking for, basically eliminations here and cordoning off with this May coming out.
Yeah, very bursty strategies from both of our teams. You can see right there, Akiba just gets absolutely bursted down before Meester has a chance to get a heal or about. 2 quick kills here for Jabobbers to start things off, and Ball State found, they found their rhythm there in the break somewhere, Billy.
They did, and I like it. We'll see how this goes down. Oh my God, Siegmeyer has found the range with the icicles. The Ice Demon is alive and well here in India, and we'll see if there's going to be any changes coming out from Warriors Gold. They've got to be able to speed and disengage from these walls. Otherwise, they're going to get completely locked up. And it's going to really come down to SSF being that initiator or that disengagement tool.
A great wall. It's going to force Nemesis form in the block out of a K-Ball. Won't have that to push in with. It's just using all their cooldowns, eating up half of their health bar as well. Also, it does have to invest in their immortality for probably the most important cooldown here on live for the Ball State composition. Nemesis 4 back online. That is the go tool. Akiba's going to use that to try to move on to this objective. Put some pressure onto the Junker Queen. Shout used out of Jabobbers, backing up behind the wall. And Akiba doesn't have the health to keep up. Gets melted on the point. Tomathan's still here. The pulse doesn't land, but the coalescence does. And Akiba's sacrifice is warranted by the rest of his team.
I mean, wow. What a fantastic flip there from Warriors. I tell you what. I mean, they were like a percentage point away. We talk about a game of percentages. Siegmeyer was 98 to Blizzard. If they have the ice block on cooldown, they wait that out. They get the Blizzard. That fight is still in their favor as it stands. I mean, they're going to have a lot of initiation here coming into this fight. Big one is the Blizzard.
Yep, and it's through an Matrix. I don't know how much that'll affect it, but okay, anyway. Everybody gets out of the way of the Blizzard. From Warriors, a lot of mobility there. Nobody frozen up, but it does open up the objective for Jabobbers to move in. Unfortunately, outside the objective, it is all Warriors. The Deadeye is on to Bear Zombie. This seems to be the cap here. But Ball State, very importantly, were able to get control. Otherwise, this would have been final fight. They get one more shot at this, Billy.
Yeah, and they're going to have a rampage to do it with. Sound barrier if they need it. I would honestly hold it if you can. The big thing I'm looking, though, I want to see them use this rampage very thoughtfully. See if they can find the back line and really put the pincher to Akiba when they go into this annihilation form.
Oh, it's going to be so tough. You got to catch a Lucio and a Moira without fade. Bobbers is definitely up to the task, but you're running into an annihilation and you'll never get an opportunity to hit Q. A late sound barrier from Bear Zombie to try to turn the tide, but I don't even know if there's some punching power here for Ball State. Certainly doesn't seem to be the case.
Nope. This is a great win here for Warriors Gold as they now are going to move to our next flashpoint. And I mean, they use the pulse bomb, they use the annihilation, and now we're going to see, how do they play in the neutral here as they try to defend a point. They're going to be there first. Cashless has this pulse bomb. They've been pretty good lethality-wise. Haven't seen a lot of the tracer from them so far, but I like the change. I like the change here. They're going to bring a lot more to this fight.
The only vet on this squad. Got to open this up for Ball State. Give me an early shot used. Bobbers wants to use the rampage, gets it in, finds to it, and Ephemeris immediately disappears. But Tomathan is still alive and well. And Akiba is there to punch down your Baptiste. Look at that. 2 pulse pistols and a staff. That is just impossible to survive.
Nope. I mean, it completely devalues the rampage as well. They're in a small room. They've got the amp speed. They've got all the healing in the world. Once that effect goes away, and I mean, Maester gets another Coalescence online just in that small room, my friend.
I just got Beck stuck in my own head. 2 pulse pistols and a Ramatrigo. Okay, anyway. Pulse ball lands, speaking of. Came out down to nothing. The axe will finish him off. And now suddenly Ball State are moving to all corners of this point. Excuse me, that was the Warriors who were scrambling. Tomathan, though, still manages to win this out. How do you consistently win these fights without your tank? Sigmaier's got a couple in their own right, and I think it's 2v2 left on this point, Billy.
I mean, it's all about the burst right now, and the Sigmaier is getting it done.
There it is.
Where did that knife come from? Where did that knife come from? I didn't even see Jabobbers in the frame.
Jabobbers came around the outside. It was Sigmaier comes right up the gut through the doorway. Jabobbers has snuck around to the outside, and they just pincer and win the 2v2. Very clean.
As some of our colleagues, especially in the Calling All Heroes arena, says, I am barking respectfully at Jabobbers right there. I am barking respectfully, ma'am.
There you go. I like it. SSM is trying to break it down, but there's an Matrix up top. Ooh, barely dodging the pulse bomb coming out from Tomathan. Still, Coleridge Key cannot survive. And that means Jabobbers has to win this fight out now because there is no sustain left on this point. Jabobbers turn tails and run.
Team kill, but I mean, it was expensive. Pulse bomb, sound barrier, and the annihilation had to come out for them to capture this fight. And now they're going to be going into almost another Jabobbers rampage. We saw how completely devalued that came through last time. Cashless.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't devalued. Just Warriors are able to still win the fight even when they're down consistently.
I love it.
Ridiculous.
You love it. We both love it.
It's not an easy thing to do. Ooh, that was an ambitious pulse there from Cash onto the Lucio. The Bobbers now turning their attention onto the same hero, and SSM has managed to dance around all of their cooldowns and even the ultimate. Bobbers still holding on to this. Rampage is going to decide to let loose with it. Only hits 1. And Evan Billis is able to use the duplicate. The iframes avoid the Rampage. And then uses the Death Blossom. What a duplicate in out of Ephemeris. Wow. Perfect timing. Perfect duplicate choice.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, they built that up sweet. I love exactly what they were thinking there. They got aggressive. They got decisive. Something that we didn't see in Arctic Peninsula, Jeff. So, I mean, they've got their gumption. And they've got a full head of steam. They're on flashpoint point.
Looking to go up onto match point. Huge advantage here. And Ephemeris could not find any safety, but here comes the clap back in the form of a Coalescence and Warriors teamwork. Ooh, Sigmaier ends up in a very nasty sandwich, and Warriors win it out.
Hello there.
I mean, once again, Coalescence is so strong and it's such a value to this team, and they got aggressive with it. I mean, this is something that we've seen of the big, massive change from map 1 to maps 2 and 3. It's decisiveness. And it is the willingness to invest ultimates. Where you would think just a neutral fight would do. Nah, they're going to go aggressive, and they're really getting the value out of it.
Oh, you saw that mark onto the Baptiste. You know exactly what Tomathan is hunting for here. You got to get the immortality field out first, but a stick onto the Bap could just spell the map. Ooh, Tomathan doesn't find it. No other team will find it. Sunbearers are now out for both teams, and this fight is going on in earnest here. Annihilation out from Akiba, but Sigmire is able to use their Wraith Form to fade out into the corner, if only for temporary safety, but Jabars is there to back him up. Ant Matrix now online. Oh, but the Death Blossom is immediately shut down. You tried to Death Blossom in a Disruptor shot. Annihilation out of Jabarbers to swing it back the other way, and it will. A 2-for-1 trade, and we're down to a 3v3 on this point. Ant Matrix is still up from Ball State, and Jabarbers is going to step behind it. All attention turned to Akiba, the brunt of the focus, and falls to the Hemhawks coming out from Jabarbers. Now attention on to the Moira and Ball State. Well, they've won one, Billy.
Well, I mean, hello? At some point, Ball State had taken control of this flashpoint, because I thought that it was all going Warriors Gold direction. I thought they were approaching 99. Nay. They flip it at some point, and then Warriors Gold take it back, and now we're at 81% and counting, and you're looking for a pulse bomb here from Cashless.
The only ultimate online for that team. Recall has invested early to avoid disaster. Trying to use the pulse to counter the coal, and no, it does not land. Ineffabilis' rail shot is the one that lands. Ineffabilis, that is. Fading aggressively. Meester going right for your Baptiste.
Love it. Absolutely love it. That is aggression at its finest. Meester is one of those Moiras, by the way. One of those Moiras that I always claw at the sky about. It is the DPS Moira that every comp team just screeches at the moon over. But now we've got a pulse bomb ready to go here from Tomathan. We know how good they have been all series long with it.
And a little do-see-do. Ball State enter for that side. Okay, Tomathan is just going to go right back and re-engage. Third on the front line this time. Puts a lot of damage onto Jabarbers. And that's going to get Immortality Field and Sound Barrier. Ball State would love to get a kill here on the back of those investments, and Cashless will deliver. Back on the objective, there's an Annihilation, though. SSM dying 5% away from Sound Barrier. Disastrous for the Warriors. Ball State in a great spot to flip this back over and grab their first point here on Cervasa.
I mean, Sigmire's on the Echo now, so I mean, there's a lot of burst damage. And Ineffabilis?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
I thought they were about to turn it. I thought they were about to turn that. As it stands, that is the first flashpoint here into Ball State. They're coming up on some big ultimates as well. We got the Pulse Bomb and the Amp Matrix about online. The big one for me is going to be Sigmire. Where do they go with the duplicate? Do they decide to go for a Sojourn? Do they decide to go for a Moira and get a fast coalescence? That might be the ticket here.
If Ineffabilis was able to bring back a 1v4, if I can't say in a 4v1 that the fight is over, my brain would have just fallen, my world would have dissolved. Into the back, Cash's pulse does not land, but there's an Amp Matrix on the point, and Warriors have to just hold on the outside. They're going to use a Sound Barrier to move in, find Sigmire. See if they can find the tank as well. Ineffabilis. That one doesn't land, and Akiba moves in. That one does. Their zone gets punched down, turns around, finds Cash. Akiba now face-to-face here with Jabarbers. Decides a little help from their friends. They're able to take down that tank. Well, you know, a lone tank is not such a threat there, Billy.
No, it is not. Even if it is Ramatra that has a lot of staying power into these fights. Now, the big thing is that Meester gets Coalescence about halfway through that extended fight. They flip the point back into their favor. They're going to take the lead here, but they've got the Coalescence. They're going to have the Overclock as well. This is actually going to be huge. Duplicate online.
Oh, the Coalescence has already got a kill, though. And on to both supports at that. This fight is done and dusted. I'm confident in that one this time, Billy.
Hello there.
Well, I mean, Meester has shown great tenacity, has shown great movement as well. Saving that fade to get aggressive. Now you've got this high ground on platform outside the point and a perfect line of sight into just shoot people like fish in the bucket.
This ends.
It's your Ball State. How do you even cross this, especially with the overclock? They just sit ducks, and Mortality Field was an idea, but it's immediately disposed of. That's what you do. You send Sigmire up to clean off the high ground, and then Duplicate and Ramatra onto the point. There goes Sigmire, the sound barrier to boot. If Akiba can survive all that, I will be incredibly impressed in their backline, and they do! Akiba's still going, Akiba's still here, the Duplicate is faded, and Akiba still stands tall.
I just trust. The trust in the back line, that's going to be the point. That's going to be the map. They go on the match point. I tell you what, the mechanics are there. Holy cow, how does Akiba shield dance so well to stay up? And I talked about the sports. Yeah, here.
Perfect use of cooldowns from Akiba as well during that final fight. It was on a knife's edge, absolutely microsecond timing, nanosecond timing on when you're shielding, when you throw the hands up, throw it and mix it in the punches in there as well. That top tier mechanics will certainly on display from Akiba here in map 4 or map 3.
Yeah, I mean just fantastic stuff. I love it. I love what I'm seeing right now from this Warriors Gold team. They lose the first map, but they don't put their heads down. And they just get to work. Tornado Diff still holding strong here for them. And, I mean, still, they're on match point. I mean, what a way to go out. If this is going to be their last regular season game for this program, this could be just the crowning glory of their program.
Certainly it would be nice to go out on a high note for the squad. A team that Tomathan and Badges have built for the past 5 years. And, I mean...
And, well, we have had our choice made for us, and it is going to be the most beautiful of the push maps, the most lovely of the push maps, and the funnest of the push maps. It is Esperanza.
Yeah, certainly the most popular of the push. Waterloo did ban Colosseo. So that's where your bans were. And this, of course, was Ball State's pick after Waterloo's victory there on Suravasa.
So Jeff, hear me out here. Were they doing it to deny Ineffabilis long sight lines, or were they banning it to deny Meester another opportunity to get a long sight line coalescence that destroys the entire team? I don't know. It's a lot harder here in the streets of Portugal for a Moira to get the same kind of value. So we're going to see, do they run with the Moira again here? I mean, fade to high ground. I mean, they've got the fade jump down perfect. So we know that they'll be able to use that to attain high ground if they need it. I'm actually interested to see if they're actually going to pull the Moira out here, Jeff.
You're talking about banning Colosseo. I was thinking, Colosseo, Akiba could run Ramatra. You could get Ineffabilis on the Ash. You could put SSM on the Ana. That seems like, whoa, Ball State, I think, just kind of looked at that and went, nope to all of that. Nope. Let's just ban that map out of here.
Danger noodles. We'll see. Oh, man. I mean, this is probably the best map for them to go. And I'm interested to see. Oh, okay. Okay, Ball State. Maybe knowing your enemy, sometimes emulating your enemy is the most sincere form of flattery. And we'll see how Bear Zombie goes up against Meester. Meester has had a couple of maps now to play the Moira on, and they are definitely warmed up to the Irish healer. So we'll see what Ball State Black has coming out here. They've got a flanker. I like this.
This bridge, these two bridges, the bridge we just crossed over and the bridge going to look at the other side, that is the most important part of this map. That is where the most pivotal fight will take place, and holding that high ground is absolutely crucial in getting your second fight win and getting your bot moved towards that checkpoint. With that, keep that in mind, friends, as we have Ineffabilis on a Cassidy, who's able to just sit up here and look at all the aggression. Warriors just move in without hesitation. They don't break stride whatsoever as they run down Ball State Black.
Decisive. That's decisiveness once again, Jeff, and that's something that, especially here in Season 9, the gumption, the decision-making has to be on point. If you're going to go in, you have to do it with your whole chest. And that is exactly what Waterloo is doing right now. They're going with their entire chest and saying, I'm going to take this fight. I'm going to win this fight. You can't do anything about it.
Commit to the bit, Billy. I think that's what... Commit to the bit. And, well, Warriors are trying to commit here, but, oh, that was a giant rock that Akiba just ran face first into. Jabobbers decides to drop out of the window. Might have been just landing into the middle of a hornet's nest here, but some good reinforcement out of the teammates, and Warriors cannot pursue this kill onto Jabobbers. Jabobbers is able to kind of sneak away with TS1 for a minute, and our DPS duel each other from the high ground. Cash has moved in down low through Mega Room. Actually, that was just an escape in. Oh, it was chasing Tomathan. That's what I was saying. It was Tomathan who was moving to the flank, and Cash thwarts it.
Oh, the pulse could be huge here. If they land it, nope, it's out.
Yeah, Coalescence, this is what's going to end up being huge. Already melted through your Baptiste. Annihilation now out from Akiba as soon as the Coalescence ends. Really good layering of ultimates out of the Warriors to keep constant pressure down. But Akiba oversteps, bit off more than they can chew. And Cash and Sigmar strike back in a big way.
Wait, Meester? No shot?
The Moira? Moira.
Meester!
Really, the Moira? Tomlin's in there too. We're down to a Tracer 1v1 and Cash wins it out.
Okay, I mean, this is probably one of the most entertaining matches that I have seen in quite some time. Moira surviving on 0 health.
Getting 2
Tracer's
picks.
battling around the outside. Yes! I love it. I love it.
It's wild. And there's a world where there's a 4v2 that is not a convincing fight win for the people who have 4. My caster brain hurts. Moira comes through and gets 2 picks and a 4v. Oh, all right. Top of that down low already, as Ball State, I think, are a little mad at Tomathan on that Tracer. Meester is too far away. Gravitic Flux out from Jabobbers, who's very low in their own right. They actually fall first. They don't get the slam down. Akiba was 1. If Jabobbers gets that Flux off, Akiba's dead. This fight is looking very different.
As it stands, it's going to be a team wipe. They're going to get to the checkpoint here. And forward spawns are going to come up online. So this is about aggression now. I love that they're taking Mega Room here and providing that constant source of pressure. And they're going to have a little bit of high ground control as well.
Ball State always under duress, always in the threat of dying immediately, especially when Affabilis is on the other side. Akiba with a wide swing, just to kind of get that vortex into the back line. I think to help focus down Jabobbers up front. But there goes an aggressive fade in. Akiba pops the Nemesis form, hands up, use that coalition to try to heal. Unfortunately, Jabobbers does not have the same. Bear Zombie is still 25% away from it, and it's a difference maker in this one.
Ineffabilis with a 3K in that fight. We're not letting the Moira go. SSM, the newest player to this squad, has been a hero here for this Warriors team. Warrior Spirit go roar. And SSM is having a fantastic day.
Warrior Spirit go roar. Truer words have never been spoken, my friend. SSM now in a bit of a duel on the outside there with Cash. Circles around to keep him marked. Has to just amp speed out of that room. Look at the entirety of Warriors go back with it. Great disengage from the Ant Matrix. And now they're going to counterpunch with an Annihilation and the big Omnic Butler into the back. Coalescence is out from Bear Zombie, and Meester actually oversteps both supports. Now absent here from the Warriors. Ball State stay the course and able to fend off the counterpunch.
Oh, man. But, I mean, that was on a knife's edge there, Jeff. And I'm not sure. Oh, gosh. Jonathan. In deep. Bereft of any warriors around them. They got to be scared. I'm scared for them. Big Dynamite goes out of hallway.
Pulse bomb.
That's true.
Sigmar is out of there. What a long rotation. Meester of both Moiras actually fall in the middle of this, and this feels very disjointed. Even Jabobbers is, I feel like, is looking around going, what is going on?
I mean, Tomathan is just having fun right now. Being the fly in the ointment.
Where are our teams? Where is everybody? What kind of team fight is this?
Party? It's not a team fight, sure. I can tell you that.
No, it's just Tomathan stalling the point and waiting for everybody to rejoin. It just looked really chaotic.
I feel it. I feel the chaos. I mean, Sound Barrier here to kind of stay the course in this annihilation. The big kicker, though, is going to be Stigmeyer. They're going to have the Omnic Butler again.
Warriors, fearless as they push out. They always seem to make the first move. They do not hesitate whatsoever. We get Bobber's chasing down 1, but Akiba has chased down 4 in the meantime.
Well, I mean, watch for Jabobbers from the back. Maybe try to take a little bit of a off angle. See what they can get here. Yeah, I mean, throw the Vortex out there. Let them have it.
Warriors definitely have a go fast approach to their strategy. They're holding the corner here. They have a coalescence to engage with if they want. I'm guessing they're trying to build up to the rest of Akiba's. Well, never mind. Akiba just goes in. Annihilation or no. Ends up being a trade for their own Moira. Ooh, SSM doesn't make it down around that wall in time. This is Ball State now trying to take advantage of 2 early picks and see how far they can get with TS1.
This is like one of the most, since the first map, this is one of the times that they felt a little bit indecisive with their engagement, and they pay the price for it. I mean, that Coalescence was doomed from the start at half health and just gets blown up mid Coalescence. So, I mean, that's a big source of healing gone right now. This should be Ball State Black trying to take the initiative. They just need to rotate their ultimates. Bob should be held until the last possible second.
Oh, Bearstone gets caught out. I know. I mean, Cash was screaming for that rotation. You see all the eyes up, and still, Ball State cannot safely disengage as the Warriors move in with their super fast approach and catch Meester and SSM off guard yet again.
Lucio
Excuse me. That was Coleridge Key and Bear Zombie. Excuse me.
Right. I mean, it's Lucio diff. It's the ability to speed in and speed out of these engagements. So, I mean, that's what they're lacking. I mean, they've got a lot of burst healing. There's the forward spawns back again. But, I mean, they're going to have Bob. They're going to have almost all their ultimates coming in this fight. They need it.
Well, there's the Bob right out of the gate. Unfortunately, Dynamite bounced off the shield. Robbers pops into this, and there's just a Lucio there. And Annihilation comes out from the other side. Akiba wants the space back, wants the close spawns for the rest of the team. Not able to fight it. It's just too much damage here at the choke. Bob thrown in late from Ineffabilis in lieu of the tank being gone. Is this good enough for the Warriors to get the checkpoint? Yes! Akiba got close spawn just by like half a second there, Billy. That was, wow. Huge.
All right. I mean,
what awareness out of Warriors.
Right from the high ground? Hello? Oh, we got a Sombra on the field. This is dangerous. This is a change, too. And, I mean, Sombra is a lot more viable right now, Jeff, so I'm looking to see if they're going to be able to use this to their best advantage.
EMP coming up a little quicker now. It's going to be Annihilation shut down. As Jabbar's trying to pop out of the front line. Thinking they had a rush at their back, but Warriors just outlive it. They burn it out too fast. Kitsune Rush is still not enough. Look at the Warriors move into the Kitsune Rush to find that kill on to Cash and are now just racing towards the spawn door, picking up kills all along the way.
I mean, honestly, who does that? Who does that?
Runs
into a rush, yes. Oh, that's stones. That's stones. That's a Warrior's heart right there.
The one clip. Ooh. Close. Look back in. Finally uses the recall. Good patience on the recall. The heals are there, though. You can't take out... Oh, careful, Zin. Zin got out of the LOS of the Kiri there for a moment. That was a fatal mistake out from Bear Zombie. Now there's nothing to heal Coleridge Key. Tomathan just decimates your support line.
Yep, I mean, that's just aggression once again. They're going to go ahead and, I think, win this entire map out. And that's it. The time runs out, but, I mean, they were on the way. 3-1 victory here for the University of Waterloo Warriors. Possibly their last appearance here as a team. And I tell you what, they went out with a bang, Jeff.
Quite a big bang from Ineffabilis and Tomatham in specifically. I mean, the DPS line were just lights out, so good. Winning fights that I thought there was no shot Warriors would win. Ineffabilis and Tomathan somehow managed to turn around so many of these engagements. Incredible performance. I think I'd give Tomathan a player of the match if we kind of did that kind of thing. The captain of the squad, really leading them. I mean, for 5 years, building this program up from scratch. and to have this fantastic performance here today, kind of a pinnacle of the Warriors program.
I hope that they make it to the. I hope they make it to the postseason. They deserve it. Oh my God! I mean, this is just a fantastic turnaround. Tornado Diff. We'll be calling this game for the Tornado Diff for a while. I mean,
Tornado
they called
Diff
it themselves. Yeah, Tornado Diff absolutely came true today. Because I mean, Ball State Black had their head of steam going through Antarctic Peninsula, and then the tornado warning happens, and Warriors just sit there. They talk about it probably while they're waiting for Ball State to get back, and they come out with fire in their eyes, and they absolutely take the rest of this series.
Ball State have really good fundamentals. I mean, we had some really good teamwork, but I think Warriors were explosive and they were decisive today. And I think that was a big difference. I had a suggestion for Ball State. Honestly, I think it looks like they might have gotten a little too conservative. Maybe pulled back once we got into the Season 9 patch to try to keep Jabobbers alive more, and perhaps have swung the pendulum a little too far in the conservative direction. Make sure you stay decisive. I think that's what we saw out of the Warriors that we were liking so much, Billy, right? The aggression they showed us, the decisiveness in their engagements. Warriors had that in spades. That heart, man.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. I mean, I'm bad for Ball State because I mean they came out the gate really on fire, and I think that tornado warning really did do a number to the mental. And I mean, no doubt, it would do it to me too. Here's how we got to where we are. I mean, yeah, it happens. It just happens. So,
well, I mean, Ball State came out in 2-0, right? Like out of the gate, we saw Ball State coming out. I mean, on fire, hitting every mark. They looked warmed up. Didn't look like they had missed their scrims or missed their warm up. Everybody was in sync there in the first map, and even on the defense to start off Watchpoint Gibraltar. Before we had the tornado warning. And I love the squad. I mean, it's a very fresh squad. Self-described as scrappy and persistent. But yeah, the Warriors are the ones at the pinnacle today. They've got the spotlight on them, and for good reason, my friend. It's a hell of a SWAT song from them. I hope we get to see them at least one more time. That'd be nice. We are going to get to